Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Board Masters with me, Chris Mullins, and today is my video on my existing collection part 3, which I felt was necessary due to the massive influx of games we've had, primarily thanks to Prime Day, but also Father's Day, a few games on Stacey's birthday, and also a few games that we'd ordered months ago eventually turned up. So let's dive into that. I'm going to start with Gravitrax, which isn't technically a board game, which is why I'm starting with it, but anyone of my generation probably remembers growing up, and in school they always had plastic marble runs, which were plastic cylinders that you stacked up, and you had some with bridges and little spinny bits, and you put the marble in the top and watch it go all the way down to the bottom, and I absolutely loved it. Bought some for Alex when he was a kid. He's played with them a bit, but gets bored with them fairly quickly because they tend to just go up and down. But then in Prime Day, Gravitrax was up for sale, and I blamed Donald Faison for this actually, because I'm listening to the Fake Doctors Real Friends podcast with Donald Faison and Zach Braff, Reliving Scrubs, which I loved, and he talked about how Gravitrax is amazing and one of the only things that keeps his kids off electronics. And then within a couple of days of that, me listening to that episode, because I'm miles behind, I bought this. And a bunch of expansions. He's got the starter speed set aside for Christmas with the bridges and things, and he's had access to it for a day at the point of recording, and he's already declared that he's fallen in love with it. He's making his way through the tracks in the booklet. He's already making up his own tracks. He's absolutely loving it, and I couldn't be happier because I think it's great fun. Room is going to be an issue for this one. And then we get into the Prime Day deals. And if you remember my top 10 retail wish list last week, this was, I believe, number 2 on the list. Possibly number 3. It might have been War of the Ring at number 2, I can't remember. But Star Wars Rebellion, which is just epic. A 3-4 hour game time between 2 players where you basically play out the entire battle for the galaxy, with one player being the Empire and one the Rebel Alliance. And yeah, obviously I haven't unboxed any of these yet because I haven't filmed them, other than 1 or 2, but I am so excited to get this to the table. I adore Star Wars, and the idea of spending a whole day potentially battling over the fate of a galaxy is super exciting for me. And then on to another Star Wars game, which wasn't in my retail wish list, and it wasn't a game I was actually really aware of until the Prime Day deals started rolling in, and that's Star Wars Imperial Assault, which is, again, 2 to 5 players in the traditional gameplay. One player controls the Empire again, and then the other up to 4 players team up to go against them. There isn't an accompanying app, which I will probably be using, where the app plays as the dark side and then you team up to fight against it. I don't know if it's the same missions as the campaign mode. I kind of hope it does, because I'd like to play the whole campaign co-op if I can, but I'm looking forward to finding out. There is also a competitive skirmish mode, which I'm not sure is going to be for me, but we'll find out. I'm not usually a big fan of skirmish games, but I did absolutely adore Villagers and really enjoyed Hogs of War, which are not skirmish but 2-player competitive, so hopefully that will translate to that. And finishing up the trilogy of Star Wars games, because obviously Star Wars you've got to deal in trilogies, is Star Wars Outer Rim, which again isn't probably as highly rated in terms of the BGG ratings as these two, but one that looks very fun, where obviously you're in the Outer Rim, which is a very famous region of the galaxy, for lack of a better word, in the Star Wars universe, where all the dregs of mankind live, and this is a game basically where you are playing as bounty hunters, mercenaries and smugglers. And I love that side of the universe where it's not just Jedis and soldiers and high level empires, there's the dirt and the ground level and everything as well, with crime syndicates and all that sort of thing. So looking forward to exploring that. On to another license I love, and another game that was in my retail top 10, around about number 7 I think, is Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth, which similarly to Imperial Assault has an app, although this one is entirely dependent on the app. As far as I'm aware, I don't think you can play it without. Yeah, requires free digital companion app. And it is, as I was hoping Imperial Assault will be, completely cooperative, and you team up to journey through Middle-earth and complete epic narrative storylines, loads of expansions available, so this could get expensive, as could these, if I fall in love with it as much as I hope I will. But again, definitely one I'm looking to feature on the channel soon, because BGG state or suggest that it's best at 2 players, so it might be one that me and Chris, or me and Stace even, play pretty soon. Next one, again we're still on the Prime Day deals, is Blood Rage. And this is one that I've heard so many good things about. It's generally, again, I think it's an area control competitive game where you're battling between Viking clans. And I kind of got turned off by the whole competitive aspect of it initially. But I figured I'd give it a go because it is hugely highly rated. It was on a Prime Day deal. And yeah, I guess I will discover if I love it as much as others when I get to try it. But it is very, very fondly thought of, and I thought I'd take a punt and give it a go. And I am, now it's here, very, very excited to try it. Carrying on with Prime Day, we got more of the family ones coming up. So we've got Trekking the World, which isn't one I was particularly aware of. I'd heard of it, but I think it was £40 down to 28, so I figured I'd take a punt. And it's relatively light, and in theory will be a game that I'm hoping to play with Alex very soon. It's got a very similar sort of mechanic to Century Golem, which is a game we enjoy, where instead of recruiting golems, you're going on tours of famous places around the world, and the artwork is gorgeous, and hoping that it's fairly educational in terms of geography and things going on. And you know, Stacey and I quite regularly talk about our bucket list holidays, so a game that allows you to enact that, once I discovered it, was very, very tempting indeed. The next one is one that was on my top 10 classic games that I was hoping to play. There was another one, Castles of Burgundy, was on there as well, but unfortunately that ran out of stock before I could get hold of it. But I finally have a copy of Risk. I'm guessing it's a reprint or something, because it's got a dragon, 2-headed, one where you fight a dragon, which I hadn't heard of. And I believe Alexa can play this as well, which adds 1 to the player count, which will be a bonus. But again, will be interesting to try it, and you know, it is a cornerstone of the industry, so I appreciate that it's probably a bit dated now, but we'll give it a go. I'm sure it's still fun and stands up. And then we are on to the last of the Prime Day deals, and that is Minecraft Builders and Biomes, which is a game that obviously I bought for Alex because he absolutely adores Minecraft. We've played it a few times so far, and to be honest, I am shocked at how much I'm enjoying it, because I have no interest in the video game at all. But yeah, the level of decision making and everything in this is really, really enjoyable, and hopefully, if all goes to plan, this will be on the channel on Saturday when Alex and I do a playthrough of that. What else have we got here? So we've got a couple of games that were on order for a while that finally come in, and one of those is Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, which primarily I bought for Stace because she did forensics at university. She loves like those sort of TV shows, like, I don't know, all these sort of CSIs and Bones and things like that. And we've started getting into escape rooms through Stacey's love for that, and this, whilst not technically an escape room, is, well, it's hard to, you sort of you get given a case notes, and then you explore London and investigate clues and interview people in order to try and solve the case. We've had one game of this so far with my friend Jen joined us, and it was so much fun. And I'm umming and ahhing about whether we're going to have this on the channel at any point, because it is very spoilery if it's on the channel. So it might be that I just do like the first 20-30 minutes of a case and that'll be it. But 10 cases in there for 40 quid, so far more bang for your buck compared to an escape room, which is generally, in our experience, 10 to 15 pounds per escape room, and then you can't replay those, whereas that's 10 for about 40 pounds. The second game from that order is one I've been waiting for ages, which is Calico. And again, if you've seen our Isle of Cats coverage, you know that we love cats in this household. So anything themed around getting cute little kitty cats to come and curl up on a quilt is going to be something we want to play. And, you know, buying this by Flat Out Games, if you've seen my Kickstarter backlog, you will know that I backed Cascadia originally. I then actually cancelled the pledge on that one, and then when I went in to record why I cancelled the pledge on it, I backed it again in a late pledge. So, and then Calico became available, but it's been back ordered for 3 or 4 months and finally turned up this week. So I'm very excited to unbox that with Stace at some point over the coming week. And the last one, well, technically not the last one, the last big one, I guess, and we're running out of room, is my Father's Day gift, which is Yggdrasil Chronicles, which is, again, I'm very susceptible to a large displaying tree in a game. Obviously I have Everdell, which was famous for its tree, and Yggdrasil Chronicles was certainly bigger and far more interactive, and arguably more attractive as well, because it's, although it's not standard artwork, it's a bit more creative. It obviously depicts the realms of Asgard and things. And Norse mythology is what I'm interested in, having played the likes of Senwa's Sacrifice and the newer God of War and Jotun on video games over the last few years, which I really, really enjoyed, and bought a series of books of the Norse gods, and I think they're called Vaesen. They were really beautiful and really well written and fascinating, to be honest. And then we've got this, which I'm not sure where I'm going to have to put out there. Oh, hello, Farah. Again, the cats like to make their appearance known in these videos. And then we've just got a couple of little ones that we got for Stace for her birthday, which again, as I mentioned earlier, she loves her escape rooms. So we've got Exit, the Haunted Roller Coaster, Exit, the Secret Lab, because then again, anything that's got a science theme is something that's going to appeal to Stace straight away. And then we've got Exit, the Sacred Temple, which is one that actually has 4 jigsaw puzzles in there, which is a very interesting twist on the standard formula, and looking forward to breaking those out and playing through them. But that is the third part of my existing collection, and as you can see, it has expanded drastically, because that's not including new games that have been featured on the channel, like Tiny Epic Dinosaurs and Nemesis recently. But that's the video, so I'm going to leave it there. Comment down below on what your favourites are from these and which ones you'd like to see on the channel. Seriously thinking about even doing an episode or 2 on the grabber tracks, and, you know, videoing Alex making tracks up and showing those. So let me know if that's something you'd like to see as well. But thank you very much for watching. I'm going to leave it there. Look after yourself, stay safe, and have a good one. Thank you. Bye bye now.